Welcome to CricAdda Live for the post-match show of England versus Australia. When people ask what do you term as entertainment in cricket, you'd most probably want to go down to a wire kind of game. But I think this match, although being one-sided, it just shows the power and strength of a team that's been a real juggernaut for the last 2 or 3 years. I think what a clinical performance by England, clearly not giving any space whatsoever to Australia and finishing this comprehensively,
Yeah,
climbing obviously to the top of the table, and I think that they will be there waiting for the next semi-finalist. What are your thoughts, Nikhil, on this brilliant performance by England?
yeah. The start of the show, the plate that we have, I think that is exactly what England did to Australia today. Anything they bowled,
Yep.
Josh Butler was just whacking it out. No mercy. Just exactly how a T20 side should play, and they just
Yes.
outskilled Australia in all facets of the game. I mean, you didn't
True.
even think that they'll miss it. Such was the clinical the way in which both Jason Roy and Josh Butler, and then Johnny Bairstow
Josh
came in and
Butler.
he also smacked sixes. It just tells you how much confident they are as a unit in their own skills. Yes, Toss has been helping them, but again, they have been executing their skills far better to their counterparts. And yes, Australia have had a hiding for a change.
Yep, and a real hiding on the net run rate as well, which we'll look at
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Paras, where do you think Australia was not able to take the wickets? Is it just the conviction of the English batsmen that they are so good that the Australians got intimidated? But we shouldn't say that because they have Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, and Josh Hazelwood and Adam Zampa. Clearly, none of them getting any kind of a real chance.
It
Yeah,
was a true pitch today, Salil, to bat on, but
yeah,
Australia missed out. And as you rightly put out, that England really dominated the match, and George Butler taking it away. Post the fifth over mark when they were 48 for no loss. That's when the shoulders start to
Yeah,
droop for Australia. And you spoke about the bowling attack being very versatile and effective, but not enough runs on board can really
yeah,
make you look shabby because there's nothing to fear for from the opposition's perspective, and that's exactly what we saw today.
wonderfully
yeah.
put, Paras. And with that said, I think we look at the scorecard and get to know this innings in more detail. So, what do you think about this performance by Josh Butler? Clearly, didn't first two matches didn't play much, but Nikhil, Josh
Yeah.
Butler, and that six hitting ability of his,
Yeah.
71 of 32. What are your thoughts?
And it's just breathtaking. I think it is a knock. Often we lose context in terms of such knocks being played during the game, but I think this knock is going to stay with me for a long, long time, especially the way he hit Mitchell Stark. I mean, Stark was coming in trying to bowl his Yorkers, and Josh Butler clearing his front leg and just smashing him down the ground. It just illustrates how forward England are in the game with their tactics and trying to put the pressure on always on the
Yeah.
opposition. They're never looking to get it on themselves. So when you're so far ahead of the game, you the it's the bowler who's under pressure to try to get you out, and then it's when mistakes happen. You see those full tosses, you saw the things on the pads, and all that kind of stuff happens. But again, Josh Butler, we've seen him do this before, but to do it, I just feel it's very special to see someone like him, come off so well
Yep,
and just hitting the ball out of the ground so easily.
wonderfully. Josh Butler
Yeah,
being the mainstay of the English batting in this wonderful run chase.
yeah,
Paras, just the two spinners getting the two wickets, slight consolations.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about Australia's bowling and fielding today?
Fielding did not look bad, but the bowling was not that effective. The flow of sixes started with Mitchell Stark being hit for back-to-back sixes by Butler, and once you don't have the runs on board and the opposition gets onto a fantastic start, this is inevitable the result, and the way they chase it down is quite deflaming. The opposition's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
confidence, and Australia really need to bounce back because England. If it would have been any other team, it would have been fine. But because it's
yeah,
England, it's going to hamper their confidence a lot more.
yeah,
I mean, on the contrary, Paras, I was thinking if you look at Australia, who started the tournament brilliantly, hoping that they might go and carry the momentum into this game. they know that England is a side to beat, and in this entire group, they really have a good chance now. They shouldn't be really bogged down by the fact that they lost to England, because I think at the back of their minds they would be knowing it. Um, England is absolutely difficult to beat, the kind of side that they have, and the only way you have you have somebody beating England is getting three or four early wickets. That's what
Yeah,
exposes Morgan, who's not been in the runs. That looks like the only piece of the puzzle that the team needs to really find in this
yeah.
massively talented English lineup. So, Nikhil, what do you think should be Australia's thought process now going forward?
Yeah, I think as you rightly pointed out, one of the good ways that Australia can take out is they've seen the best team out. Yes, they've seen out in the worst way possible, but again, they have important games coming up. They next play the slightly lesser sides. They first play Bangladesh. Again, they play them in Dubai, and they play West Indies. Two sides who've not been at their best. If they can beat those two sides, they will still feel that they have a good chance to come off of the group in a better way. But I think the area to me that is puzzling for Australia is their lineup and the changes that they've been making. I mean, Mitchell Marsh was the only guy who played at three in Bangladesh in the recent series, and now they've
Yes,
gone completely
very
kept him
surprised
out
not
of
to
the
see him.
game. Yeah, and then you have Smith at three. Again, these roles, again, you see England, they don't make the changes. The changes are made to a particular situation, to a particular cause. With Australia, you don't
Yeah.
see that. You see the players. It's a bit of a muddled kind of a thinking where you don't know what's exactly the role of somebody. People are going in and out of the side just frequently. So I think with this they should sit down and just first have a set plan in terms of, okay, this is like they don't change their bowling, they should not change their
Yeah.
batting as well, because only then will the batsman will be able to execute their skills better, because they're not thinking of anything else other than just the target in front of them.
Well put there. And I think with that, we should head to our fun segment of the show. And let's go back to the leaderboard for our second innings
Yeah,
prediction. And wow, Paras and me have been a little lucky. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think
yeah.
Nikhil, I think this is I think we should
It's
Tough
an
just
luck,
go
outcome.
tough
back to
luck,
the
Nikhil.
leaderboard. Today's been different. Yeah,
Yes,
today's been
yes,
different.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
No comments, just like
Let's go to the
Australians.
leaderboard.
Yeah.
Those days. Oh
Whew.
wow, that's I should mark save the date. Where is it? This is what you should be doing right now. Wow, getting
30
these right
October.
is quite brilliant. And this can
Yeah,
change. I know that Yash and Bhavika watching this, and I can join them sometimes because they've lost in the past. But this is a fun thing. It's been a brilliant
yeah,
one. And
yeah,
Paras and Nikhil, thank you for your lovely predictions. We've had a total of
yeah,
19 in of total of 18 predictions per
yep,
match. So for anybody who's watching this, you get some great tips about some players and some
yeah,
matchups, and this is the video to watch. So
yep,
going back to that discussion, just a quick one on England, and before we wrap up the show, Paras and
yep,
Nikhil, what
yep.
do you
Yeah.
think is the one thing that the opposition needs to do to beat a side like England? Now that we are in the middle stages of this tournament, I think I had to put this out because
Yeah,
I mean, the teams, they're humans, they can't be invincible, but they have been
yeah,
for 25 games right now. And,
yeah,
all praise for the cool Captain Morgan and his side of
yeah,
warriors, you can say. I mean, these guys are absolutely brilliant. They bat deep, they field well, they
yeah,
bowl brilliantly. They've got the spinners, they've got the batsmen, they've got the sheet anchors, they've got everybody.
yeah.
And it just seems that maybe you would need to steal their bats to beat them. But yeah, I would like a quick one by from both of you on how can you really beat England? We can start with you, Nikhil.
Win the toss. As simple as that. Just win the toss, off to chase, and then unleash your
Interesting one.
best bowlers on
Yes,
them, because you've seen 14 of the last 15 games in Dubai have been won by chasing. Again, we've talked
yes,
about it before. Teams have not been able to pace their innings well with the bat at the top. Test them. Pakistan also has only chased. England again has only chased in this tournament. So yes,
yes,
you can say that they have been a bit lucky, but again, I'm really interested to see when there is some new ball movement, because say let's for example today, if England were batting first, I'm 100% sure Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood would have been handy. they wouldn't have gone to have a score like this that they have in the second innings. So, as Para said, runs on the board are important. Maybe in the knockouts, what if you lose the toss and you have to bat first? So I think that is one area where this side has always struggled. Again, I think we can say that for most sides, whenever you lose your top order early, you often tend to have troubles. And England have some of their
Yeah.
batters who've not had any bat, in the tournament. Livingstone hasn't had a bat.
So if they get
Moe has not
exposed,
had a bat.
yeah,
Yeah, Morgan has not had a
yeah,
bat, and he's been not in good form as well. So I think that's the one way, if you want to say, just get lucky, win the toss, because if you're chasing, again, you have to bat very well. And I think this could be one of the key takeaways from these games, that maybe going forward, say from tomorrow, teams who are batting first, go a bit slow. Don't take the risk in the first 3 overs. We've seen
of throwing a
teams
wicket.
have just don't lose wickets. Just hold a bit back, as Paras slightly said in the mid-inning show, that over number 3 to 6, that's where you go big. Just don't go just too early. Just keep some wickets in hand and then see how you go from there.
Yep. All right. Brilliant inputs there, Nikhil. Paras, over to you.
Nichols pretty much summed it up. But for any opposition, they need to be on their A game. Anytime they're facing a side like England, if they get to bowl first against a side like England, they would want to make early inroads, pick the first 3 4 wickets in less than 10 overs to test out the middle and the lower order for England. If that's not the case, then really need to, if at all, you're batting against England. We rightly pointed out the power play is the make or break for any team. If you lose like Australia did, 3 wickets in the power play, you've got nowhere to go, and regular intervals fall post that. Wickets fell post that, and you pretty much end nowhere but 120, 125. So you
Yeah,
need to be on your A game, and really need to have a plan of attack before stepping onto a field to play against a team such as England.
yeah,
True. Brilliant, brilliant inputs there by Paras and Nikhil. Thank you so much. To sum it up, you either
yeah,
be lucky and win the toss and put England
yeah,
to bat first, and to beat an A side, you need to be at your A
yeah,
game. So not really something very easy. And all right, and I think we're done with this segment for the day. If
yeah,
you haven't followed us yet, you should like, share, subscribe to us on social media. We're there on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and you can see the link below in this video. I think
yeah,
it's been a brilliant day of cricket for the Greens and the Blues, and for all
yeah,
cricket fans. And we're going to
yeah.
be moving to tomorrow's match, which is India versus New Zealand. Really excited for this, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow
Yeah.
there. Thanks, Paras. Thanks, Nikhil. This was CricAdda Live.
Yes, thank you guys. Take
Thank you,
care.
Saleh.